Happy Canada Day, Western Canadians, Albertans. Hopefully everyone is taking the opportunity to get some sunshine and enjoy the day. It's a beautiful day out here. Hey, sorry I've been slacking on the content. Seems like this time of year a guy is busier than ever. Cows and kids and everything else. A little bit of work. So I don't want to take up much of your time, but there are a few things that I'd sure like to let people know about, and hopefully somebody wants to listen for a sec. First of all, Bill C-10 and its cohort in punishment, Bill C-36, that got voted in the dying minutes of the last session of Parliament there before they stood for summer. What this is the teeth behind C-10. This is the definition of what they're calling a hate speech crime. It's anything that you say or write or record that may offend a group or individual, that may make them feel that they may be harmed, I guess. It's so vague, so ridiculously vague, but the punishment can be up to 70 grand in fines, house arrest, and possible jail time. So it's pretty serious stuff. What they're going to do is they're going to use this to shut people like me up, and shut people like Canada Poly down, and shut people, anybody that has any sort of voice. They're going to use this to restrict that voice, especially with fall election coming up. So I guess if you have something to share and you want people to hear what you have to say, I would suggest doing it this summer, because it doesn't look like we're going to have that option in the future. Secondly, I guess the mask mandate in Alberta is coming to an end, but Mr. Communist Nenshi there down in Calgary figures that he needs to continue to enforce it only in his city. So beware if you're headed there for Stampede or holidays, etc., etc. I don't know what he's up to, just trying to find money, I guess. I'm not sure. Thirdly, this whole business about the Cowessess First Nations in Saskatchewan and the supposed 750 alleged unmarked graves. Chief DeLorme himself, and hopefully people are reading these articles because it is in the articles, has said that this is a community cemetery and that most of these graves had headstones, but they were removed when, I guess, the church at the time in the 60s got into it with the band and the government, and they removed a bunch of the headstones. So these deaths are recorded. I mean, all of these deaths are recorded. There's records. If you believe that there's no record of these mass burial sites, these whatever the media is trying to frame it as. I've even heard the word genocide used in Canada, that there was a genocide. People need to understand what that word means, because there has never been a genocide in Canada. Anybody that's using that term is only taking away from people that have actually experienced the horrors of genocide, okay? There's no comparison to what happened here to what happened in, say, Auschwitz. It's shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence, okay? So hopefully people take some time to do a little research on that. The chief there seems to be really trying to encourage people to understand what actually happened there. I mean, I hope that they do get proper markers for all these graves. I mean, that would be great, but this was a community cemetery. These could be Caucasian folks, they could be folks of any descent. They could be old, they could be young. They don't know yet, put it that way. So clarify that one a little bit. Next, what's next on the list? I guess accountability in the media. If anybody out there that's listening is involved in media, whether it's paper, radio, blogging, whatever, you guys have to realize that your wording is the record of the day at that time. In 10, 15, 20 years, when people look back to see what CTV News, CBC News, the radio said about something that happened at the time, that's going to be considered fact. So if you're lying now, or if you're giving your interpretation of the truth now, then you're only harming people in the future. So please remember that. This habit of gaslighting and, you know, throwing gas on the flames, literally, of these situations, and causing real crimes to be committed in real time, like burning of churches in Canada, that's just sad. So anyways, there is a lot more going on out there, and like, I could go on forever, but the most important thing on this Canada Day is to remember that Canada is a place to be proud of. Canada is the most free and most non-racist place on the entire planet. Spread that around. Let people know that this is not somewhere to be ashamed of. Yes, there were things that happened 100 years ago that, by today's standards, probably shouldn't have happened. But we cannot judge our culture of 100 plus years ago on the standards of today, especially with how liberal and woke this society is becoming. So let's not get lost on the indiscretions of the past, and let's not forget the past either, but let's not dwell on it. I think people need to realize that that's the true meaning of reconciliation, is to move forward past a traumatic event. And I think that's what the majority of true Indigenous people want. They don't want churches burned. They don't want this shit getting drug out over the years. They want to carry on. They want to live freely in a free society. The only people trying to take that away from us is our government in Ottawa and the media that they pay for. So let's remember, if you're going to be at odds with someone, let's be at odds with them, because they are the ones that are truly wishing to do us all harm. Okay? Thanks again for your time. Take care and have a wonderful Canada Day. Bye now.